today's video, I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial on this look right here. This is just kind of like a rose toned makeup tutorial. It's actually really easy, and I originally wanted it to be a little bit more intense, but I do like the way it turned out. It's just kind of like rosy and mauve-y. Honestly, really don't have too much to say for this intro because I'm actually kind of in a hurry right now. But if you guys do like this video, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe freely because I have some pretty cool videos coming up and you do not want to miss out, so don't forget to subscribe. And without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop right on to the video. Okay, so for this video I actually am going to be doing a talk through because I've never done like a talk through type video before, and I always do voiceovers, so I thought I would do a talk through. So if you guys want me to do like more talk throughs, and just let me know. I kind of prefer voiceovers because I think the videos are a little bit faster, but I thought I would do a talk through. So if you want me to do more of these kind of like talk through type makeup tutorials, then just let me know. But to get started with this look, I'm going to be using this Essence. This is the eyebrow designer pencil, and I'm in the shade 02 Brown. I originally wanted to get like the I think it was like their tinted brow gel, but they had like very gray tone shades, like they didn't have my shade. So I decided to get this one, and this is actually my first time using it, so I'm gonna let you guys know how I like it. It's just like a little pencil, so you do have to sharpen it, but yes. So I'm gonna try it and see if it works good. Okay, so to be completely honest, I'm not really a huge fan of this brow pencil. It was only like $1.99, so it wasn't really that expensive. I mean, the shade kind of fits my brows. It's just like, I don't know, it's really not the creamiest, so like when I'm applying it to my brows I have to like do it really hard, and then all of a sudden it just gets like really kind of like splotchy and messy, and I don't know, just like the way my brows are, it's a little hard, so I don't know. Okay, so for the brow pencil, I know this isn't like a review or anything, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really a huge fan of it. It didn't really make my brows look the best, and I feel like my brows, like, I don't know, I feel like they look okay. Like, it definitely helped a little bit when I use like the little spoolie just to kind of brush them out a little bit. But I don't know, it's not my favorite, so I might keep it and try to give it another try. But yeah, I'm just gonna have to try to fix my brows off camera, so yes. But now we are going to go ahead and start with the... Okay, so I zoomed you guys in for the eyes, and honestly, just excuse the brows. I know they don't look the best, but I might try fixing it. I mean, they don't look horrible. Maybe I just think they look bad. I don't really know. But anyway, so for eyeshadow, I first am just going to prime my eyes, and I'm going to be using this little tiny sample. This is the Stay On Stray eye primer from Benefit. It's just a really tiny little sample, and a little goes a very long way with this eye primer, so you do want to be kind of careful because it is very thick, and it is a yellowish toned primer, so it is going to cancel out discoloration. So I'm just going to apply it a little bit to my eyes. And I know I didn't really apply that much, but I promise you it goes a very long way. So like now when I'm going to blend it, as you can tell, it's like really thick, and I really like it. Okay, so for eyeshadow, I'm going to be going in just, I'm only going to be going in with one shade in this palette. This is the Ulta Gilded Gold palette. I absolutely love this palette, but I am only going to be using one color just for my transition. So I'm going to be picking up this shade right here. It's just called Tan, and it's just a nice kind of like a light brown color, so I'm just going to be using that for my crease. To be blending this just into my crease, just for my transition color. I've really been loving this shade for my transition. It's just a nice like light brown color, and I think it works really nicely. And I'm also just using this Wet n Wild little crease brush. It's a really nice brush. It's really fluffy, and I have really been loving this brush lately. Okay, so now on to the rest of the eyeshadow. I'm going to be going in with this LA Colors palette. I'm really sorry, I don't really know the name. It's just called the Glam palette, I think is what it's called. And it comes with a lot of like really pretty kind of rosy toned, pinky shades. And I got this palette a long time ago, and at first I never used it, but now I use it quite a bit because these colors are actually like really pigmented. Now the only thing I don't like is the little pans are kind of small, but it's a really nice palette, and I thought for this kind of like rosy toned look, I thought these shades would go really perfect. So I'm going to be using this same crease brush. I'm going to put my hair behind my ears because it's bothering me. And I'm first just going to pick up this shade right here. This is just kind of like a light kind of rosy pink color, and I'm just going to be applying this into my crease as well. Okay, so now I'm going to be picking up that shade just right below it. This one is a little bit more of kind of a mauve-ish, I don't really know, it's like a mauve-ish, kind of almost brownish toned red, and I'm going to be applying this kind of lightly just into the outer V of my eye. Okay, so now for the more darker color in the outer V, I'm going to be going in with this shade all the way down there. It looks very bright pink on camera, but personally I think it's more of like a mauve color. And I'm just going to use this same brush. I don't really know, like I just got this brush like in a palette and I really like it. It's just more of like a flat brush, so it's really good for the outer V, I personally think. And I'm just going to lightly dip it in this shade. I've used this shade before, it's pretty pigmented, so you do want to be quite careful with it. Personally, I feel like this shade is actually turning out to be a little bit more kind of like, I don't know, like it's turning out to be a little bit more like an orangey-ish pink, which it doesn't seem like it'd be that kind of color, so I don't know why. For some reason it's looking like that, but we'll blend it all out. Okay, so now onto the lid. I'm actually going to be mixing a couple colors because now when I'm like looking in this palette, I really feel like there isn't like that one really rosy toned shadow. So I'm actually going to be mixing that one that I used earlier. I always feel like I say the word actually, like in my testing with beauty hacks, I literally said that word like 1,000 times and I even got annoyed. I'm going to be taking that same shade that I used for the crease and I'm going to be mixing it with this shade right up there. It's kind of like a purpley pink, but I think mixed together they will look really good. And I'm just using this Wet n Wild brush. I really like this brush. I'm just going to apply this to my lid. And this look is going to be pretty natural. It's not going to be like too intense or anything like that. I will be doing a fall makeup tutorial like really soon. And I already have like a couple fall makeup looks in my head. So get ready for that. So I'm just going to do the same to the other eye. This look is looking a little bit like more pinkish, more than like rosy. But I am going to be using one shade in this palette just to kind of make it look a little bit more rosy. I feel like you guys can't really see it that much because it is so... I'm going to be going in with that shade that I used earlier as well. And I think I'm going to mix it a little bit with... I think I'm going to mix it a little bit with that darker color. So I'm going to mix these two together. And I think that should probably look a little bit better. I'm just going to kind of be blending that with the other shadows a little bit. This bottom shadow is like really pigmented though, so you want to be careful. So I'm just going to be focusing this just into the crease and also just kind of blending it out with all of the other shadows. Okay, so I actually had to wait for my camera battery to charge. As I just said in the previous clip, my camera was dying, so I had to wait for it to charge. So I hope the eyeshadow still looks okay. But yes, I'm actually kind of in a hurry now because I need to go somewhere. And yes, so I'm going to try to hurry this up. I feel like I probably should have just done a voiceover because it probably would have been faster. But anyway, I realized with the LA Colors palette, I really wasn't getting the exact look that I wanted, so now I am going to be going in with the Tartelette Bloom palette. I'm sorry if this look is a little confusing. I feel like I've used like so many different shades, but I'm going to be going in with this palette and using that shade right there. It's just kind of like a mauve-ish rosy color, and I'm going to be applying that on my lid, and then I'm going to take the shade right next to it, Funny Girl, and I'm just going to apply that right dab in the middle to create a little bit of a shimmer effect. Now into mascara, I'm going to be going in with the Benefit Badgal Lash Mascara. It's definitely not my favorite from Benefit. I would say the Benefit They're Real is probably my favorite, but I do like this mascara, so I'm just going to be using it today. It has like a really big wand, so I'm just going to be coating this into my lashes. Now I'm just going to go ahead and start with my face, and I'm going to be using the Smashbox Bona Finish Primer Water. This is just like a little sample. And anytime I use like a kind of like spray product, I feel like I always make a really weird face. So just ignore that if I make a weird face. But I'm just going to be using this for primer. So I usually have to shake it up a little bit. I'm just gonna do a little sprints on my face. And I really like this stuff because it just makes me feel really hydrated and it does prime my face. So now I am going to be going with concealer, and I am going to be skipping like the BB cream slash foundation just because I normally don't do that, and I do it in some of my tutorials, but I just decided to skip it today. I feel like I'm talking like so fast. I'm actually kind of like in a rush now, but yeah, so you can definitely do that if you need to, but I am going to be using concealer, and I'm using the new Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is actually my first time using it, and I'm so excited. This is in the shade Light. And it is literally so big, and this is a very full coverage concealer, so that's also why I'm not putting anything on my face, because I'm going to be kind of dabbing this all over. But I'm just going to be using just a little bit, because a little bit goes a very long way apparently with this concealer. And like, oh, so big. I'm just going to be dabbing this underneath my eyes, just a little bit. A little on my nose, on my forehead, a little bit on my chin, and then just a little bit where I have some kind of like spots. I'm literally just dabbing it like a foundation all over my skin. And literally I still have like a lot of product left on the applicator. Like there's still a lot of product left, and I used quite a bit on my face, so that is pretty cool. This will definitely last you a long time. It was like a really big concealer. I'm going to be blending it all out with my Beauty Blender. It's my favorite way to blend out my concealer, so I'm just going to blend it out. It is like so thick. Oh, full coverage. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I am going to set my under eyes. Even though I heard this concealer doesn't crease, I'm still going to set them just because, you know, why not? So I'm just using the e.l.f. This is the contour palette, and I'm picking up that banana shade right there. I've seriously been loving that shade, and I'm just gonna set to my under eyes. I'm literally like not even used to this full coverage concealer. Okay, so now onto my contour. I'm also going to be using the same contour palette, and I'm just going to be mixing those two shades at the bottom. But I'm just going to mainly kind of bronze it up a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of focus it from this point and just kind of go like that. So now onto blush. I'm going to be using my Lorac Pro blush. This is in the shade Spectra. It's a really nice kind of rosy mauve color, so I think it'd go really good with this look. So I'm just using that same brush. It is a very pigmented blush though, so you're gonna be really careful. And I'm just gonna be focusing this just on my cheeks. I actually really like this blush. It's just kind of like a mauve-ish kind of pinky color. Okay, so now onto highlighter. I'm going to be going in with this Rimmel Kate. This is like the highlighter, contour, and blush palette. And for this look, I decided just not to use a blush because I just prefer the Lorac one for this type of look. But I am going to be using the highlighter, and I really love the highlighter. It's very pigmented, and I actually really like this little palette, except for that contour shade. It is literally too much. It looks like, I'm just gonna say it looks like poop, honestly. Like, it's just too dark. Going to highlight face. Okay, so I already lined my lips off camera, and I just used the Essence lip liner, and this is in the shade Satin Mauve. It's just like a nice mauve color, and I actually really like this lip liner. And I'm sorry I had to do that off camera. I'm really in a rush because I'm so afraid my camera is gonna die. So now onto the lips. I'm going to be going in with one of these little samples from Urban Decay. This is one of their like samples of their Perversion lipstick, and this is in the shade Backtalk. That's just like the shade right there. It's just kind of like a mauve-ish pink toned color. So I'm going to be picking up one of these little brushes right here, and I'm just going to be applying it to my lips. I'm literally trying to hurry so bad, and I will have all the products that I used in this video listed in the description box. I know I don't do that every time, but I am going to do it this time since I feel like I kind of rushed towards the end of this video, so I am really sorry about that. So yeah, I promise you my makeup tutorials usually aren't like this if you are new to my channel. I just kind of had to rush in this one, and I really want to put out like good video content for you guys. It's just I really hate it when like your camera's about to die, and it could honestly die like any second. Okay, so that is it for this makeup tutorial. This is the final look right here. It's just kind of like a rose toned makeup look. I know towards the end of this video it was a little bit rushed, so I am sorry, but I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!